Alongside Patrick Brown, I'm Ryan Callahan of Vols 24/7 here this No-Huddle on Tuesday of the week before Tennessee's season opener. We just spoke with Tennessee coach Josh Heupel, who mentioned they are kind of getting into their normal schedule as they get ready for the start of the season. I guess that we can officially declare camp over. There's always some ambiguity as to how or when exactly they transition from camp to game week preparations, but pretty much getting ready for that. And the news, of course, from the past couple days is Tennessee officially has a starting quarterback going into the August 30 opener against Syracuse. Joey Aguilar, no surprise, the UCLA transfer who played at Appalachian State last year, will get the start, and Josh Heupel explained a little bit of what went into that decision today.
Yeah, he just said that he was pleased about how Joey, I think just trending upward was sort of the way he talked about it through camp. Said he performed well in both scrimmages, just showed really good command of the offense, and continued to grow over the course of the past 2.5 weeks. So I think at the end of it, it had become pretty clear, especially by that second scrimmage, that Aguilar was going to be the guy. You know, if you want to say he submitted it in that second scrimmage, you probably could, but I think it was going that direction anyway. So I think Heupel likes what Aguilar's done. I think he likes the experience that he has. He's been in college offenses. He's seen college defenses, which I think is something that should be understated. And then I think he just likes how he's grown into this offense, come in, learned it, and has put it out there on the field. They wanted to see someone go out there and go win the job, and basically he said that's what Aguilar's done over the last couple weeks.
On the flip side, he had to deliver the news to Jake Merklinger and freshman George MacIntyre that they are not the guy. And he talked a little bit about what goes into that and mentioned, hey, I've been there before and had to go through that, and understands those guys are naturally disappointed not to be the guy.
Yeah, he said if there isn't heartbreak for not winning a quarterback job, then something's wrong. That would be a bigger concern. He said that there was disappointment. He told all three quarterbacks at the same time, I believe, on Sunday. So that's something that Heupel has done in the past. Obviously, as you mentioned, Ryan, he is a former quarterback, has coached the position a long time, so he kind of knows that you've got to handle it a certain way. You can't handle it the same way you handle defensive end. No offense to any defensive ends out there, but or safety or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but said those guys have kept good energy, and his message to them and his message really to the whole team is that you just never know when your opportunity is going to come. Right? I mean, you just look here. The last time Tennessee had a real quarterback competition, Joe Milton won it, and then came half into the season, he gets hurt, and then Hooker comes in. So those guys have to stay ready. I mean, we'll see what avenue or what it would look like. Who's next in, how they would handle both those guys in a situation where Aguilar would be out, but they just need those guys to continue working. Heupel said that you can take that night and be disappointed, but come in the next day and get back to work. And I think he thinks both those guys have done that over the past couple of days.
That competition has ended officially. Another still ongoing at the center position. Sam Pendleton, the Notre Dame transfer, and William Satterwhite, the redshirt freshman, still battling for that job. Josh Heupel said, still some time for that to be sorted out, but it has sounded behind the scenes like there's been more Sam Pendleton buzz here recently. But your thoughts on that still being a competition? You buying that at this point, or you think that was maybe a little more window dressing than real competition?
I think that's probably window dressing. I mean, I think offensive line is another position where at this point of going into extended game week, you want to have your guys and let them work together. He did say again that Satterwhite could be needed. We saw it again 4 years ago too. Cooper Mays was the center. He gets hurt 2 series into the opener, and they had to slide Jerome Carvin in there. So Satterwhite, I think, is in one of their. He's one of their top 6 or 7 guys on the offensive line. So he can still stay engaged and be maybe one of those top guys off the bench in case Tennessee needed to go to a contingency plan. But as of today and as of the depth chart I posted on the site yesterday, Pendleton's the guy at center, I think.
And I was going to say that check out that depth chart on Vols 24/7.
That's the real one, no oars.
The real one. The Monday one's going to have 27 oars. We've got the real scoop on what the depth chart's going to look like when Tennessee gets to game day on August 30. Some positive news for Tennessee. We've been waiting on when the receivers be back out there, the starters that is, that Tennessee's going to be opening that game with against Syracuse. Sounds like they're finally all back out there on some level. Now, exactly how much they're doing remains to be seen, but he mentioned again, as we saw last week, Chris Bradwell has been back out there, of course. We know Mike Matthews has been out there for a while, even though he was limited a bit earlier in camp. And Braylon Staley, the big news, I guess, was out there. He said, the past day or two. So to have him back out there, a positive step. Now, the question is, how ready will he be for that season opener?
Yeah, I think both those guys, we'll see. We won't get an injury report. It's not an SEC game, so we don't have to look forward to that. But I think both those guys are probably trending towards playing this far out. But again, it depends on how they shake off the rust and do what they need to do over the next few days.
And we do have the obligatory Boo Carter update. His status still kind of the same
ambiguous.
As it's been. Yeah, I guess you could say just ambiguous at this point, but he's kind of continued to say he's day-to-day, and he elaborated a little bit on that today. What did you make of what we heard from Josh Heupel about Boo Carter's status? Should we, based on that, anything we could read into what his status for the opener might be?
He's trying to be a little positive, but it's still going to be, I think, day to day is what he's been saying. I think that's probably the best way to put it, because I think that's probably the reality of the situation, for being honest.
It's we'll have to continue to read between the lines on that one for now, but game day now less than 2 weeks away for Tennessee, with the Vols playing Syracuse in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Plenty of coverage up on the site already, and on the way, more this afternoon at GoVols247.com. We'll be talking with players tomorrow as well. For Patrick Brown, I'm Ryan Callahan.